There's no quick hack to making money online, to getting rich quick. I promise I'm going to be more positive in this episode. I just want to get this out quickly. First of all, there's so many different ways of making money online. Marketing, network marketing, social media marketing, organic affiliate marketing. There's so many different ways. You're selling your own products and services. Whatever it is, there's a ton of things and a ton of ways to make money online. The biggest problem is all the lies that you see, especially on social media. And I've said it before in different episodes, so I'm not going to ramble on about it. But what I'm going to say is, just be really careful, and don't get drawn in to the making money fast, especially this time of year, coming up to Christmas. We could all do with an extra quid or two, or dollar. So what I would say is, do your research. Don't just jump into something because there's a false promise there. Right, so we'll get to the positive stuff, because I've been a little bit, I'm not being negative. What I've been doing is I've been trying to get my point across that, I've been online, building my own business for over 2 years, and I've made all the mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes. I fell for a lot of the bullshit, and I just don't want other people to do that. So, this podcast is, help people coming into the online business world or wanting to start an online business, or even people that have been doing it for a little while, but they're stuck and, because they're falling for, all the shiny objects that are out there. And so I want to keep it real. I want you to know that there are good ways to make money online. There are good ways to have your own business. And if you follow the right people, you'll know I'm right. Following people that show off Lamborghinis and Ferraris and nice watches, stay away from them, because they've probably rented them and they're probably not even theirs. And it's just this false bravado that they've got. And it doesn't help your mindset. So I'm gonna have to talk about myself a little bit, and it's not something that I like to do. I don't think many people like to talk about themselves, but I want, the positive sides of online business, regardless of what it is. But I'll talk about what I've done. All right. Now I've mentioned before I got into the affiliate marketing world, but what I didn't realize was the people that you meet online. Right? Okay, you get trolls, you get the bad people, but you'll meet some amazing, amazing people. If you go out your way to network and not make money in the back of your mind, you're going to meet some fantastic people. And I've worked with some fantastic people. I've teamed up with someone at the moment and we're doing something really cool. And that's all from just networking and making friends. And I'll go back to being the non-confident person that I was, and just having a conversation was difficult. I'd always, in my mind, about, well, am I going to say the wrong thing? Am I going to sound stupid? And or what if their opinion of me is this or that? And coming online, and a lot of people outside who don't do this. So people that don't create content, people that don't, get into this online business world and see how open it is, they don't understand. Like, I'll get asked, like, well, why are you online all the time? Or why are you creating videos? Or why are you speaking to people that you don't even know? But I can guarantee you now, the people I know online, I've known for over 2 years. Not all of them, obviously. But I've known a good handful for over 2 years. And we know each other very, very well. And we've never met in person. We've had a few video calls, one-on-one calls, just chatting away. But most of the time, it's through messages or through content. I watch their content, they watch mine. They watch my podcast, I'll watch their videos on YouTube. And I've got better connections online than I do out in the real world, to be honest with you. See, for me, my biggest problem is because I used to go out all the time when I lived in Spain. I used to drink all the time. I used to go out partying all the time. And that's how I socialized. I didn't want to do that now. So I'm living in Scotland and I don't know a lot of people. But the ones that I do, they go out, they'll go to the pub on the weekends and they'll go and drink. And it's just something that I don't want to do. Now, I'll have a drink in the house, but I don't know that. I'm worried that that's the only way I'm going to be able to socialize again. So I'm kind of like, well, I prefer being online. I prefer doing this. Like, doing this now It's almost like therapy in a way, because no matter what mood I'm in, I can create a video and straight away after it, I feel fantastic. It does something to the mind. It blows my mind every time. And it's the same creating a short video. I was just out walking the dog, hit record on my phone, started doing a little video. I'm going to edit that later and I put it out. And these things, especially if you struggle with confidence and self doubt, these things take all that away. If you are coming into the online business world or you're wanting to start an online business, I personally would advise that you start with content creation. But regardless if you've got an offer, you're selling anything, you've built your business up yet, I would start with that. I know that, especially when you struggle with the confidence and you struggle with not having that fire, it's going to build that up for you. And it might take a long time, or it might take a few videos, and then you'll be out and you'll be, you find this new lease of life. And so that is the biggest positive that I can take away from all of this, is the complete difference in who I am and the way I am in the real world, so to speak. And the online world is probably the real world, but outside, even simple like going into a shop, right? Going into a supermarket, you're going to pay for your stuff, you put your stuff on the counter, and instead of I would just look, I wouldn't really try, I wouldn't make eye contact, I wouldn't want to speak to them. Whereas now I walk into the shops, I'm like, hi, how are you doing? Having a nice day? You've been busy? And you just chat away. And that is because of the online business world. And is it because of affiliate marketing? Maybe, maybe not. But that's what got me into it. That's what got me creating content. That's what got me creating videos. Now YouTube channel. And all right, I might not get a lot of views at the moment. But the good thing is this video is always going to be there. So it might not be the best camera in the world, might not be the best lighting, the best sound. But the good thing is, right, you can go back on your journey and you can see how far you've come. Now, my TikTok videos, I went down a while back to my very first one, and I swear down, it was fucking awful. I was sat in my work van actually, and I was like, if you want to get into high ticket affiliate marketing, then this is what you need to do. But it was so bad. I'll maybe post it on here one day. Not in the podcast, but I'll put it on my channel and you can see it on there if you want to. It was really, really bad. But that's how you can compare yourself to how you was and how you are now. Because I can't really prove to you what I was like before all of this. And if you're just coming across this podcast now, you're hearing it for the first time, you're seeing it for the first time, you may just think this is how I've always been. But it isn't. So I know I'm going to keep talking about the negatives in online business because I really want to get that message across. I want to get the point across to people that, there are a lot of lies out there and bullshit. But there are a lot of positives, so many positives. Take making money away from it for a moment, because once that comes over time. But that's the key. It's over time. And if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't find your fire, if you don't get the confidence to keep pushing forward, and it gets tough, it really, really does sometimes. I've hit burnout many a time. I've wanted to give up more than 5 times, and that's why people give up, and if you can get that mindset, if you can find that fire, if you can build that confidence, you're not going to give up, you're going to keep pushing forward. And one day it'll take off, whatever it is you're doing. And the thing is that I started with affiliate marketing, went into high ticket affiliate marketing. Then I kind of went into the coaching side of things. I left that behind, went back to affiliate marketing, and now I'm back into the coaching side of things. The thing is, I really struggle with saying that I'm a coach, because all I am is somebody that has been through something and come out the other end and can now talk about it and can help other people. And that's why I focus on finding your fire, right? But I focus that on creating video content, doing lives, because that's what changed it for me. And I know it's changed it for a lot of other people as well. And even people that have come over into my community, they've paid for my courses, they're the same now. They're going live in their own groups. They're doing TikToks and YouTube shorts and hopefully one day they'll do YouTube videos or a podcast, and I will get some of these people on, and we'll talk about it. Now, I know I said I was getting guests on. I'm half thinking to leave it till after Christmas. Maybe get a few more episodes out. We're that close to Christmas now anyway. Maybe get a few more episodes out on my own. And then after the new year, start getting the guests on. Just to build the channel up more. So what I would say is, please subscribe, give it a like, and if you're listening onto a podcast player, wherever it is you're listening to, just let's try and bump it up before we get any guests on, because it'd be a real shame to, not have anybody watching or listening when they come on, because they're all really amazing people. So my very first, well, it wasn't even episode 1, it was my first video on YouTube. So if you're listening, have a little look at this one. I've took inspiration from this podcast from Steve Bartlett's Diary of a CEO. Now, obviously, I'm not copying it. I don't want to copy it. I don't want to copy anybody. But I definitely take a lot of inspiration. And that, another thing, right, about coming into the online business world, I never listened to podcasts before. I didn't listen to books. I don't really read a lot. But I didn't read at all. And I didn't listen to audiobooks at all. Now, I've listened to so many books. I've listened to so many podcasts. Follow all these inspirational people. And all these, multi-millionaires. Let's get it right. And the reason Steve Bartlett really resonates with me a lot is from Manchester, where I'm from. And he started from nothing, and he's built himself up and built his business up. And the podcast, he's so open and honest. And I just think that's the best way to be. If you're coming online, you have to be open and honest. You just have to be yourself. And that's all the dark sides, all the light sides, all the nice bits and all the horrible bits. Just talking about insecurities was difficult. It's not something I ever spoke to anybody about. And if any of my family or friends are watching this, they're probably like, that doesn't seem right. But it is right. And that's exactly how I was feeling. And that's exactly what, how bad I was. But obviously with friends and family, it was different. Again, it was different because they're the people you're comfortable with. It's about getting out of that comfort zone, isn't it? It really is. Get out of the comfort zone until you feel comfortable, and then find something else that you're uncomfortable doing. If you were listening or watching this and you've come into the online business world, and you've gone into affiliate marketing, digital marketing, whatever it may be, and you've been burnt, you've invested into something and it's gone tits up. A lot of crypto stuff like that, people invest into crypto and then it goes tits up. If you have, please don't give up. Don't give up. What I would ask is come over to my group, come over to my community. It's completely free. It's somewhere that I share a lot of videos, I share a lot of content, I go live off a lot in there. I've got loads of training and ways to help you be more comfortable in front of the camera and how to let go of the demons. Now, obviously, I'm going to talk about a lot of this stuff on the podcast anyway, but it'd be really nice, if you feel like you just don't want to do it anymore, then just come on over and I'll make sure that you keep going. And because I know that this is possible. And also, I'm still working. After 2 and a bit years of being online, I'm still working a job. I'm a dad. I've got a family. I don't have a million hours to put into this. To record this podcast, I've got to find half an hour to do it. And then I'll record it, and then the next day I'll do it. As long as I do it all before Friday, because I want to get it out on a Friday. I then have to find time to edit it, and then find time to then put it onto YouTube or put it onto the podcast channels, and then post it on the Friday. So it doesn't matter how busy you are or how many times you've been burnt. Don't ever give up. Don't give up, please. The hardest thing it took a long time for me to get past was the making the money. And once you let go of that, everything changes. You end up enjoying yourself. You have more fun. You want to create content. You want to talk to people. Whereas before, I was literally getting onto messengers. I was trying to speak to people and then pass them a link over to try and sell them something. Or I get on a call. I'm no salesperson. I never wanted to be a salesperson. I've never done sales in my life. And doing sales calls is horrible. Now, obviously, if you do sales calls, if you're in sales, that's fine. You know, that's your bag, that's your thing. But 99% of people that come online have never done sales in their life. So take the sales out of it, take the business out of it, and just create the content and enjoy yourself. That's what I would say. Listen, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Episode 4 will be next Friday. It's going to be out every Friday. I'll still try and get them done over Christmas time as well. It might be a bit difficult because I've got family coming over, but I will try my best. If I'm going to miss a week, then I'll obviously let you all know. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.